What's going on, Ope Cast? Today I have very special guests, and that is plural because I have three. We are recording a crossover episode in the new temporary studio for Ope Cast, aka another about 30 minutes to an hour. I have Logan right over there. Logan, say what's up.
What's up? Hey, guys.
I have Scott.
Scoop.
And I have Andy, also
What up?
known as the Giggler. And then, Scott, what was your nickname?
Scotty Scoop.
Scotty Scoop?
Scotty Scoop.
Scotty Scoop.
He gets the scoop, so you don't have to.
Logan, do you have a cool nickname?
No, it's Logan.
Oh, Logan.
Yeah.
It's cool enough.
Not even my last name, not my initial.
Wait.
In high school, it was like LJ once in a while. LJ Ripper kind of caught on, but I don't think I love it, so don't call me that.
I
Logan,
do call him LL Cool J sometimes.
which is literally my initials, LLJ.
So your name's Logan, and you're being interviewed on Ope Cast, and you're wearing a Wolverine shirt. Is that intentional?
I mean, not at this point. Not really. It's just the next nerdy shirt I grabbed. And I told Andy, I was like, I'm still coming off winter season, so I'm just wearing big shirts right now.
Yeah. Oh,
And this is one of my big shirts.
Yeah, we're in our 30s, so yeah, winter season, and then we slim down a little bit in the summer.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm here with the guys of Mostly Superheroes, an incredible podcast that's covering movies. You guys are more than superheroes, but is that how you all got started with superheroes? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was like that. Part of our story is classic COVID story where it was 2020 and it was time to get together. But the heart of that story was I wanted to do a talk show since I was a kid,
There we go.
and that's like that heart of it came from that. And I was coming off about a year of meeting my wife Carrie. We were newly living together, and then COVID hit, and we were home. Work situation changed really quickly, but I knew I've been wanting to do a podcast for a better part of a decade,
Okay.
and I had written down some ideas for ones. And I had made some friends in the city of St. Louis for the past decade or so, and I said, TV and film is such an easy entry point for me for talking. I'm a watcher. I'm a rewatcher. I'm a superhero fan. I'm also I'm a TV fan. I love Lost. I love Breaking Bad. I love Game of Thrones. I watch some of these hit TV shows, and I binge them, and I rewatch them. And I got to have friends in here over the years. The Giggler, Andy, and PC Mike, like some of my OG co-hosts, and PC Mike's still out there doing his thing local, and I still say he'll be back one day.
Please.
And
I
then
need it.
Scott joined, Scotty Scoop. I mean, I guess it was a
That was
year,
2022,
Couple years in.
2021, something like that.
a couple years in, when I found out Scott is a lifer comic book fan with over 5,000 comic books, and me and him had plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were off and running. So TV and film is where we started, but the name itself, when I described it to my wife, Carrie, who also did our brand, the two words that came out of her mouth were mostly superheroes, because
that.
it's like it was started with the TV and film, but I was like, I want this to be everything. I want it to be a better than talk morning radio show. I want it to be like less ads, less breaks, less chit chat, more pointed, and prizes, contests, giveaways, tickets, stuff like that. And then interviews with anybody. So we really do consider ourselves a variety talk show now after 6 years, 200 episodes. We're just kind of finding like a new groove of who we are, and it kind of changes year to year.
And you started out in radio, right?
Yeah, fresh out of high school, a year in top 40 radio in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I got to be on 106.3 KFRX. Still have like my first show on a cassette tape here on the shelf in the studio where you can hear my little 18-year-old whiny voice talking about. I got to interview Chingy, Boys to Men. Chingy was so weird. And
Yeah.
I just got to throw that out there. Chuck Liddell. I remember sitting next to Chuck Liddell, and
Nice man.
I had an iPhone for a couple years, and I was on my iPhone, and Chuck Liddell was like, "Man, I wish I had an iPhone." And I go, "You're Chuck Liddell." And he had a sidekick.
He
And
could
he-
punch you in the face and take it.
And he goes, "It's for I have a contract." He's like, he had to have a sidekick.
Hashtag ad.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then, long story short, for my career catching you up, I'm 35 here in St. Louis.
Yes.
In between that was 7 years of pharmaceutical research work and 7 years of marketing and advertising. And now me and my wife, Carrie, work for ourselves and do design, production, promotion.
That's incredible. Now, what about you, Andy? How do you get into this?
He invited me on episode 3, and I've just been coming back every week ever since. Honestly, that episode feels a lot like right now, just like we just came up with questions that we wanted to ask each other, and just put up the mics. Studio was over there. Now we're over here. New and improved, honestly. That's my favorite thing about coming back is just like every the show evolves so much, like just not only with how the studio looks, but with what we do. And I think it's been an awesome journey for sure.
This was
thanks for having me along, Logan.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I was gonna say this was long before the days of ChatGPT, where you could just like, hey, can I get a podcast template? I don't do that. I mean, I just ask people, past, present, future, and a few questions, but yeah. So, and then how about you, Scott? 2022, right?
So yeah, Logan's wife and my wife are lifelong friends. And we both came into that friend group at the same time.
Late.
Late. And and so, I mean, that was an instant connection for us. And then we were both nerds. He started doing the show. He was talking about a couple of things, and then he was talking about Spider-Man 2. And I was like, dude, that's one of my favorite superhero movies. He was like, come on and talk about it. I came on, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah. That was it. And then it was just, and then it just became kind of weekly.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, you guys, I'd text and be like, and every once in a while I'd be like, do you guys want to keep doing this? And he'd be like, yeah.
He still asks that
Logan
question every week.
Not as much nowadays. I think we're having a lot of fun these last couple of years. So it's been kind of more, I think it's been easy to come in.
That's what it's all about. You come in and just, unload.
Contrary to what you think, Logan doesn't just lock us down here for the past 6 years. He just uses us for our voices.
And they only kind of get paid so far. We're still on our way.
Yeah.
It's mostly in perks.
Freebies is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Because I mean, you would have spent $120 on tickets or something. And you get to check it out, and you get to report back to it, or to your audience.
Free floppy frisbees with Captain America shields on them.
So is that
Take
what
one
these
home.
are?
Take one home for sure.
Yeah.
Take 5 home.
These are frisbees.
Yeah, you're catching us after our screen and social. So we got Captain America merch here from our friends. You might know them, Allied Global Marketing.
Oh yes.
Like Sean and Pete and Allie and everybody.
He already stole that one out of there.
Stole? Wow. Whoa.
And I need you guys to take all this stuff with you, by the way, when you leave.
I still got a box in my truck for the comic book guy
said a
tomorrow. I got a box of them, yeah.
So when you guys were coming up with the format, or I guess has the format changed over the years, or did you always want to talk about at least a movie and a TV show? How was that?
Yeah, we called it The Meat, and we still use that we have segment bumpers that we created. So it's always been fan mail, news and rumors, what you watching, to catch up, and then like a feature. But like over the years, it has changed. Like a lot of times now, like we just cut it down. Like I've learned that that's the important thing. Like if I can cut it down and spend quality time on one or two things, it's better than, we really thank our fans from day one that sat through, it's just like any podcast, the first few years, or we talked about every episode of shows where we should have only talked about that show one time.
Titans.
The
Titans weekly review.
Yeah, we'd have 3-hour episodes for a while.
Yeah, we did like a 4-hour episode where we talked about every fantastic Fast and Furious movie.
Wait, how many hours?
It was like 3.5 hours during COVID. Like 4 people here, 3 people zoomed in.
Me and my roommate in my house we're following along as well.
So now I'm more about, if you follow our program, you'll see like it's much more pointed.
Yeah.
And we try to make sure that like everything that we release is useful and informative and fun. Like it's got to kind of hit the mark on all things. We try not to waste space. We try to get to what we're doing. We always try to talk to 2 audiences kind of in general, those that don't know about it at all, to respect like a person that hasn't known about something yet, and then letting the fan feast. We call ourselves professional fans. So now the format, it used to be one movie. Now like it might be like one show or one great interview with someone like Gary Mullen from One Night of Queen, or Steve Ewing coming in, or you, Braden, where we get to just kind of focus on an area. But then once in a while it's like, hey, let's whip out 2006 Superman Returns and like have our day with that movie. And that's kind of like a special thing. And I think that that's nothing new. The rewatch and talk type of mentality. There are shows that literally watch the same show like 100 times over and over, or movie, and then they like just keep talking about it. So like, there's a range of like how people appreciate the media side. But man, a lot of my favorite thing has been community events, working with local businesses and business owners, local leaders, and trying to like, podcasts became popular because radio and audio is
too commercialized.
And it used to be the way, right? You'd be like only 5 channels out there, what's going on. But if you're a Shark fan, you have a Shark podcast. Yeah. If you're kind of into superhero movies, I always say that. If you're kind of into superhero movies or TV and film, mostly superheroes is like a podcast for you, because we can be there for the diehard fan, but we're kind of the casual watcher.
So how do you guys decide what you're going to watch? Like, you got another week before your next episode. I mean,
Group chat mostly.
Yeah, the
It's
group
just-
chat.
It's really whatever. Yeah, we just
Oh, it's all in
throw
the group
stuff
chat.
around.
Yeah, and it's never almost. I feel like we're never really like all on the same thing,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
unless it's one of these big tentpole flicks,
Yeah,
like Captain
Captain
America.
Yep.
Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Yeah, if it's a big one, we're all trying to it's like, all right, this is the opportunity to all talk about that and the rest. But Scott's usually reading something. Andy watches things that I do not watch, like wrestling. These guys both watch football. I don't really follow sports that much. Like I have fun at St. Louis sports events, and like that's always
Yeah.
been my
in person.
in
Yeah.
person. Absolutely. Like I don't know who's in the Blues lineup, but you can find me at a game.
Same.
But so like it's very variety. It's like, what are we going to talk about today? And we always try to like give each other the floor of like,
Yeah.
have your day. I'm like, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And we'll try to, and like tonight, Andy was like, should we bring something? And we had just a lot to cover. And I said, yeah, bring something, have it in your back pocket. And we got to open with it in our
Yeah.
side. So,
Yeah. There's no shortage of content for us to talk about.
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Everyone has cable plus 20 streaming services to go through. So
How much are you guys
binge.
paying monthly on these streaming services? Like, how much has it gotten up to?
Well, I mean, I'm dancing, first of all. Like, not Ted dancing, but I'm definitely canceling my Paramount Plus when we're done there.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
I got to cancel something after this. Thanks for reminding me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, we definitely expense those costs as they
Oh,
like
for
are
sure.
part of our business plan. So like we
Yeah.
get maybe a little help. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean,
I've been spoiled. One of my
Andy had 2 TVs in his living room for 10 years.
Yeah, there you go.
My roommate, Mike Key, shout out Mike. He had every streaming service, and then he moved out and just kind of let us have the login. So anything that we can, like I had to get my own Netflix recently when he moved out. But I mean, I probably only spend $30 on streaming.
Wow.
on a month.
Spotify or anything?
I just have good sharing setups. for sure.
I am
Good friends.
absolutely
Yes.
north of $100.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't even
am.
believe.
I mean, that's
that.
besides regular cable.
30, man.
Regular
Wow.
cable's
That's
like
as much as your
100
Alamo
bucks.
Draft Pass, which is a great deal. Movie
That's
every day.
Also,
I
only
mean,
20
yeah.
bucks. Yeah.
Netflix, Amazon, Hulu,
Right, yeah.
Disney Plus,
Which-
Paramount Plus,
Yeah.
Air,
Uh,
water.
NBC. I got Amazon Music. I got Audible.
Yeah.
like
Oh, I have Audible. Yeah.
I am
Yeah, but
well north.
but I
of
do try to
$100.
like. I mean, we're not there yet. So I'm like, we're literally pausing subscriptions when it's time. When I'm like, we're not like, if you need something in this channel, we'll come back and get it.
Yeah.
Also, there's a new thing that I think a lot of cable companies are doing and offering streaming services like free with their cable.
Fubo.
Like I
Fubu?
get Disney Plus and Max
like that.
now with my charter subscription. So that makes life easy.
So
I
I get
think
it.
I only have Netflix, Spotify, Apple TV.
Amazon.
And-
You don't have Amazon Prime?
I use my buddy Mike's Amazon Prime.
God dang.
Yeah, you have some really good friends.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
Crunchyroll.
That's a
I have
fact.
Crunchyroll as well. God, they just keep adding up in my mind.
How many do you have?
That's a good question. So nowadays, a lot of my subscriptions, I have Audible, but I'm like, you know how like with Audible, like you get a credit each month, and sometimes you get so busy. So I've had like 5 credits for a long
Oh
time,
man.
and you can't cancel. If you cancel, you lose your 5
lose your
credits.
credits.
And that's
Really?
about $70.
Like
I
you
didn't
get
think
to-
they did that. I
you-
thought they.
No. So you get to keep the books that you've
Yeah,
downloaded.
But if you have credits in the
but
bank,
if you have unused credits, gone.
so you got to pick all your books quickly.
Yeah, and I don't know what I want to. I can't even talk on my own podcast. I don't even know like at times like when I'm in the mood to listen to. I do like a lot of biographies on that. I like it when the actual person's reading their book.
Yeah.
Like I had Jennifer Lewis on this podcast, which is it's funny because I have like Mama Odie, like the Funko Pop. I have her book. Like I actually got the real book, but then I was like, you know what? Let me listen to her voice read it, and I forgot all that. Like I had her on the podcast in person, and I forgot to have her like sign that and all that stuff. So I have Audible. My wife and I we have Disney. We don't have Netflix. I cut Netflix a few years ago because it was once they got rid of the OG stuff, and then they went on to their original. I don't want to knock the originals.
But you'll bring it back when season 5 of Stranger Things comes out.
Man, that's on season 5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And-
It's,
right?
Another couple of months.
6,
Yeah.
5,
No, it's 5. It's final one.
4.
I believe.
And did you see 4? It was basically all movies. Just I'll put it that way. Every
Really?
episode was
yeah,
like
it was
a
like
movie.
6 movies.
Yeah, hour and a half, like crazy, epic, cinematic, really beautiful.
Yeah, it was good.
How old are these people now? Are they like
Yes.
30?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
absolutely 30 years
Are they still playing teenagers, or have they
Yes.
like grown?
Yes, they
No,
are.
are they really?
Yeah.
but older now. And I think there's probably going to be a time jump.
There's going to be a time jump
Yeah,
in this
'cause
one
the-
because
you
I
have
feel like
to.
it's been like 3 years at least since
Yeah.
they've made the last season.
Tangent City. That's a show.
Yeah.
That's a show. That's premiere television.
So, but when they have season 5, they're gonna finish that, right?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's the kind of person I am. Like,
They should have had 11 seasons.
because 11, yeah, well, they probably will. They're gonna have spin-offs.
Oh, exactly. It is too big.
yeah.
It's too big to quit, I think. Just like Dexter coming back with all their Dexter stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like same kind of like the franchise when it's that popular,
Can't let it go.
it's not over.
There's money
Yeah.
still laying there somewhere.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there was this can inside this one TV show. You know, Disney does it. Oh, you want to buy that can of that drink? That, yeah, or was it? Oops, I'm hitting.
Sorry, they're in the mics are in new places.
Yeah, that's
That's it.
what it was. But yeah, so let me see. I have Audible. We have Amazon, whatever the video one is.
Prime.
Is that just Prime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This
Just
stuff
Prime.
is weird, man. I was packing the other night, and I just walked into my living room, and all of a sudden, the trailers just start playing for like a
Mhm.
bunch of new movies, and it was so damn loud.
Yeah.
That was just weird.
I turned that off. I turned off the autoplay on every one.
I have
I
to.
can't do it anymore.
But yeah, then we have a few others. I spent a lot more on I signed up for those like master classes because I thought they were interesting. But now
Which one? Like which ones?
The Mark Cuban one was pretty interesting.
Wow. Get rich.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet, but man,
Did it help? Is it?
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
helping?
I like listening to like people that have like they're successful, you know,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
figure something out. And I think with like at least what I'm doing something right to continue to be invited to different events. You know, like South Beach Wine and Food Festival, hosting events. I don't have a background. There's no real blueprint in like what I do, so I listen to all these different kinds of people. I also have Spotify. Wow, we just really we just totally started subscriptions. It's just fascinating.
There's a whole like system now. There's like
Yeah.
a service now where you can like it'll tell you all your subscriptions, and I'm too scared to
You get
use it
yeah.
a subscription to a subscription
To tell-
canceling service.
to tell you about your
There
subscription.
was an
Yes.
ad for that
Yeah,
while
yeah.
I watched the Disney Plus on my Peloton today. So that exact app.
Don't you pay for your
called?
Peloton
Yeah.
your subscription?
Good
Oh
call.
yeah.
Because
I joke about Andy being rich all the time. I'm like, you're rich. Oh, but you get your Peloton, and he watches Marvel movies on the Peloton. I'm duct taping my old iPad from 11 years ago to a bicycle inside,
Yeah,
lift it up off the ground. Like it's
Yeah,
but this it keeps me humble, keeps Andy humble
yes, and skinny.
and skinny. And you did finish your MCU rewatch, but like you said we digress, right? Like that's why I like to say, like I told you earlier, you're like I don't watch a lot of TV and film. I'm like. We do watch a lot of the stuff we watch, but like it's not the only thing we're doing. And
Yeah.
don't put like watching on a pedestal. Like we believe in like going outside, being active,
For sure.
being part of your community. And that's why I like the stuff that you do with like Tenacious Eats, like bringing the social part to this stuff. And we are trying to do that too. Like that you can see all the events we're putting on. We've transitioned to just talking in a circle every night, which is great, to like, let's get with the community. Let's get people together and like help fans that love the stuff do it, but also like maybe a fan that's been on the fence or someone that's new to Marvel or something.
Yeah.
Like come hang out. Don't feel isolated. Cause like nobody, like nowadays we don't need to be feeling isolated. We just need to like bring people in. We're all just trying to have good lives and hang out. So we try to do that in the stuff that we do. It's not just watching TV. I always try to stress.
So you all are at over 15,000 followers, subscribers?
Yeah.
Listeners, right?
Yeah, aggregated, across all the channels, somewhere in that 15 range after, 5+ years.
So do you
starting
all
from zero for sure.
started from the bottom, now you're there?
Now we're at the lower
somewhere.
And
rack.
what's the other one?
No, we're on our way. Well, 30% growth year over year across each channel. It's just like every year it's always a little bit more. So we think we're on to something.
For sure. Like now, how is it interacting with your audience in person? Like, do people do they look at you like you guys are celebrities, or are they like just, hey, I admire what you do, or they more community focused? Like, hey, you guys have an interest in the brand new Captain America. I like this. Like, how is your audience?
I'll let you answer that one first,
Yeah,
Giggler,
no, I think
because I feel like Giggler's great with the fans. Like we all like to hang out with the fans, but Andy's always really on top of.
Yeah,
that
for
stuff.
sure. We met Jules last week. He was
Yeah.
a fan of the show that
Julian.
came out to one of our events recently.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool to meet people like that for sure. It's just like I never really thought that would happen for sure. But definitely not. We're definitely not celebrities, but I guess we'd like to be someday, but
No, I think it's been more like fans hanging out, like it's kind of a
Yeah.
movie club at our screen and socials.
I like that.
The trivia bingo, it's very interactive. So,
yeah, I
but
just
like,
want them to feel
but
welcome.
I've
honestly.
definitely been
Fun.
shocked in the last couple years. Like someone came up to me at the Team Jakey event and was like, "I'm a huge fan of the show," and like Scotty got recognized, I think
at the factory twice.
And so, and it's St. Louis. It's
Yeah.
it's still small town, big city, little city, all in the same time. But and we're not, we're not looking for that. Like we try to like we try to be like who we are and personable in the show, and that kind of comes through. I think a lot of times when we meet fans, like it's just kind of is like, you like talking about Captain America, so do I.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. And like we try, like you're gonna hear in our Screen and Social episode from Captain America, we get out the phone and do audio interviews with the fans to bring them into the show. Like that's good for everybody. Like people want to hear a raw reaction of the movie, like for sure. Like that's my favorite thing is just hearing like the Rotten Tomato and the aggregate scores and stuff. You can't look into those. Like at the credit scores, they don't match how I feel even most of the time. I like the fan reaction, so we just try to like bring that into the show. And I think like I'm thinking of myself calling into like radio stations to like try to win prizes over and like hearing my own voice and stuff, being like, man, that's cool. Like I feel like we're trying to give that, but hopefully we don't ever get too big time ever. Because like that's the goal. Like,
I won't let you do that. I promise.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
I'm not worried about me.
You're the problem.
No, I'll keep you grounded. Just because I was going to be on Wheel of Fortune, I mean,
whoa. Hey,
what more can I do?
So what is that like when you have a the corporate interview? Tell me about a time. Yeah. Let's talk about that Wheel of Fortune that almost happened.
Yeah,
tried.
I had an interview about a year ago. They basically put you on a panel like on Zoom with like 5 people, and I was like, oh, we're about to play the game right now. I'm ready. Like I will crush all of you guys. But it's actually just fully just like a really 2-minute intro. Just introduce yourself, basically like you would on the show. And what would you say?
And he told me from day one that this was his lifelong dream to be on the show. So he was applying.
We filmed the video sitting right here
in
like
that chair, like right there,
using random props from around the room.
And an Infinity Gauntlet.
Logan edited it and put it together, and I had an email saying that they wanted to interview like the next day, and then I did that. It went okay. I thought I did pretty well, but I just never heard back. But they said
you heard something.
No, they basically said like you may hear back.
Right.
It won't be 3 months at the earliest.
Yeah.
But it also you don't get official rejection. It's just like they just don't reach out to you.
Ghosted?
They got you on
But,
file.
but they reached out via email, right?
But yeah. So I
send me
had
those
the
emails again.
Yeah.
Because like that's all it is now.
Well,
I'm on lock now. Like it's over. Like you're getting on Wheel of Fortune if we got the emails.
Yes. The issue was we were stressing like there was a Marvel week upcoming on Wheel of Fortune.
So he did a Marvel themed like thing with the Infinity Gauntlet, and they even said like, "Oh, we already filmed."
Unbeknownst to us, it had already been filmed.
So it was like a timing thing. But we
Yeah.
were like, "Well, he's a wrestling fan too." Like they had wrestling theme. So it's not over. Like we're young. It's not over.
They'll do it
It's
again.
not. It's
You'll-
not.
Well, most of us are really young.
You guys will be you guys will be hosting
God
it one
damn
day,
it.
right?
That would be great. I don't know. I'm not fully sold on Ryan Seacrest yet, but we'll see.
Oh,
Pat-
he
Pat's
is
the
host.
best.
You'd probably rather be on Pop Culture Jeopardy with Colin Jost.
Dude, if
I would be.
if you guys
Is that
don't
another
watch
show?
that show, you should watch it. It's on.
It's like
on
real
Prime.
Jeopardy, but pop culture. It's pretty good.
It's remote control. You guys probably aren't old enough to remember remote control on MTV back before, when they just did mostly music videos.
I don't remember that. You're right.
Colin Quinn.
No.
Okay.
No?
I know Colin Quinn.
Oh, I know
though.
Colin Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Now, Scott, you enjoy reading.
I
Correct.
do. I read a lot.
What goes into picking out a book?
I hate to say this, but a lot of time, if you're just walking through the bookstore, it's the cover.
So it's like a thumbnail on a YouTube video.
It's absolutely, if that doesn't grab me, I'm not gonna pick up the book. And of course, nowadays you got your book talk. You flip through your TikTok and you see, hey, I've seen someone talking about this book a lot. I'm gonna get a quick synopsis of the book and see if it is in my wheelhouse, something I might enjoy. If it's hooking me, I'll buy it and put it on the shelf, and it'll be in my queue.
Scotty's inspired me to read more too, for sure.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
The
got me
amount of
started
comic
on comic
books I've
books.
read in the last month is more than I've read in the past.
Yeah.
Like the rest of my life combined, 100%. So thank you for opening up the library to us.
Yeah,
Most important.
absolutely.
Getting into like Marvel, the Blood Hunt series, and
Yeah.
the Ultimates in
Ultimate.
Marvel. Like that's been amazing. Like, and I didn't
these
read
right
comic
here.
books before I met Scotty, so like, that's all new.
Well, Logan, you mentioned what's that?
These are all just recently finished ones that Scott let me borrow. Avengers.
He brings in a stack
Fantastic Four.
every week.
I literally
got a bunch of
in our
stuff
group
over
chat
here.
I said the other day, I was like, Fantastic Four movie coming up. I need all your good Fantastic Four comics so I can get to know the villains, because I'm not a huge.
What?
We weren't OG comic book fans, so we're kind of going in reverse. Like the movies honestly make me a
More
bigger
interested
fan
in
of
it.
the original source material, and I can't get enough of just like seeing other stories. Just like I don't know a lot about Fantastic Four, so I'll
And
open
we're-
this up and see.
And we're counting down to Fantastic Four
Yeah.
and Superman, both movies coming out in July this year.
That's a big month then.
Big month.
Yeah.
And Jurassic World
And Jurassic
Rebirth.
World, yeah.
All
Yeah,
th-
I try to get to know these guys and kind of curate some stuff for them.
Yeah.
You know, out of everything I have, try and figure out what they enjoy, what they might enjoy, and try to stretch them a little bit.
So before we
You
had
try.
algorithms, we had good friends. And Scott, sounds like you're a good friend.
Absolutely.
It's just like that good old fashioned sharing what you got, and he just happens to have the biggest library ever. So
Where do you find these? Because what was it? When I was growing up, it was Mo Comics, and then now there's a place I think closer to my house over there. Well, people don't really need to know where I live, but it's in the city. It's probably like 7 minutes from here. Or do you just find these online?
So I go to a comic book shop that's near my work, Endless Comics, Cards, and Games in St. Charles. But if you go to comicshoplocator.com and just put in where you are,
Mm-hmm.
it will tell you where all the comic book stores are close to you. I think Apotheosis is closest to Andy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's all kinds.
try to do local shops.
Yeah, local shops, try to avoid,
I like that. Local.
the Amazons and the Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
And
don't make as much, and
it's nice to go into a comic book store and, talk to the guy sitting at the counter and say, "Hey, I saw this is coming out, or I watched this movie and I really liked these characters, or these are the kinds of TV shows I watch. What direction would you point me into?"
we recorded inside Apotheosis one year and talked for 2 hours about comic books, and
Yeah.
we were in the comic book store. Like I was like, we need to get out to
Oh,
Endless.
man.
They're on the list.
Yeah.
Endless is on the list because that's his shop.
Yeah, as the local STL guy, you'd appreciate. They had a whole wall of like St. Louis-based comics of just like one of them was Fantastic Four that has the arch on the cover. Or
Interesting.
Friday the
Okay.
Hulk on the arch.
Well,
There's
yeah, Martin
some other random. Yeah,
Martin Costa said he wanted to come in before 314 Day this year and talk about some of those again. So,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
let's
a
do
book
that.
like
That's awesome.
Manifest Destiny here is all about Lewis and Clark. And a lot of the central themes are arches, and they talk about the arch and blazing the trail through St. Louis to the west. And it is obviously fiction. I mean, you can see the arch there in the background, but
Mhm.
they give it like a sci-fi supernatural twist. That
like
is
historical fiction.
historical fiction. Yeah,
Nice.
good stuff.
Do you guys ever go to like a Comic Con together?
On the list,
I've been to quite a
Sure.
few
on
cons.
independently.
Yeah,
Yes, but as a group, we haven't got to do that yet. But it's on the list, and
yeah.
all the emails are out there for years, and now it's applications have been sent for like big Comic Con in San Diego. But
For
we'll
like-
see.
For
I went
media?
to
For media, yeah.
I went to Dragon Con.
We're not quite probably big enough, but like they work with a lot of independent groups now. Like they know, like it's kind of like they recognize the landscape too. So
I
we're
went to,
hopeful, and we're looking for help to
Yeah.
do that. So
I
Don't
went
sell
to
yourself short.
I went to Dragon Con last year in Atlanta, and that was the first time I had been there. And you want to talk about good food, man? I had some great food there in Atlanta, and they do a lot of that, like curated, like nerd experience food.
and don't quote me on the names of them because we'll be
From movies and
Yeah.
like comics, like they'll make the dish and spot
Yeah.
like Tenacious Eats.
Yeah,
And then there are Comic Cons in town this year, but don't ask me the names of them right now.
There's Two Rivers Con is coming up, and I think
Yeah,
Carl Lumley is going to be there.
There you go. Who's that?
That's the Captain America,
Oh, Isaiah
Bradley. Yeah,
Oh,
who was also, do you know this?
Go ahead.
Martian Manhunter
What?
In the cartoons?
in the cartoon.
Oh, of course, right.
Yeah.
I was like, I figured that out pretty quickly. I was like, I haven't seen him on screen anywhere.
I was gonna say James Install. Are you guys familiar with him? He's the one that does Tenacious Eats with Chef Liz.
Right.
He's bringing some sort of Comic-Con to St. Charles this year. So that's
With the Geek to Me Radio.
yes.
Yeah. We've sourced James and Geek to Me on our show a lot, and through Liz and some other friends in town, we want to connect with him and work with him. We haven't had the chance to yet, but we sound like we'll be fast friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Geek to Me Radio.
You guys would definitely click because it's he's looking to bring one back to another one back, I guess, to St. Louis, because we had the one a few years ago. What was it, the Fan Expo?
Yeah, we had like a Wizard World St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the everywhere kind of thing where they kind of tour the country.
And it doesn't come anymore.
And it doesn't come anymore because Wizard went out of business.
Yeah.
And that was sad.
It was. And when they were here, Jason Momoa was supposed to be here 2 nights promoting his second Aquaman movie, and he canceled the Friday night like a week before.
That happens quite often.
I'm not going to St. Louis for
shows.
2 nights. He said.
Unless it's to promote his tequila.
Yeah. He was here last year.
Yeah, he was at like Walmart's and stuff doing that promotion.
Some Friar Tucks or something like that. And so was Hulk Hogan with his Real American Beer.
Right.
He was here last year.
Big St. Louis fan base here.
Lou Ferrigno.
Find
him at everyone.
If people are listening to this podcast, because it was kind of like on your guys' pod, or your portion of the podcast that on mine people will listen to later. I like to give listeners a little behind the scenes. I recently turned down an opportunity to work with Hulk Hogan. Just various reasons, when I was a kid, I was a Hulkamaniac, but you grow out of it.
Yeah.
But that's something for listeners.
That's a story. That's a story right there.
Yeah, that is.
Not too many various reasons. I would think these days.
Don't blame you.
One
I think
specific
one
reason
reason
is all I need.
Just Google what Hulk Hogan has been up to over the last many years,
Nice to be asked. I guess.
It was like, would you like? It was like a week into November, and it was just like, hey, I love what you're doing. We would love to see
brother.
Yeah, brother. Right. I think this is like a month after he was at Randall's or something, and they still needed to push like the alcohol, and they reached out to my buddy who's my business manager, because they were like, yeah, we'd love to have Brad and Hulk. I don't know. That's just funny. Like partner on something about great American beer, and instantly my buddy's like, nah.
No.
Yeah, he probably gets that a lot.
Yeah. What is it? So you really, Andy, you really like, man, I'm like stuttering. Editor, cut that out.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
We call that a
Gotcha.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, so Andy, now you like wrestling. So do you talk about wrestling on the show?
Occasionally. I used to be, when we first started recording the show, I was like a weekly watcher.
You announced last week that you were going to WrestleMania
Let me get there.
in Vegas.
Let me get there.
I'm too excited. You just announced it. All right. So and also I wasn't buying the occasionally thing because you talk about wrestling
now occasionally. Okay.
The big events.
It came up about Captain America with like the cast and
Royal
stuff.
Rumble and WrestleMania. That's about it. It's kind of like the Christmas and Easter Catholics.
Super Bowl.
I'm a Royal Rumble and WrestleMania wrestling fan. But I used to watch it weekly, but now it's just too much, and there's just, you can't watch 10 hours of wrestling a week with every on top of everything else. Life's too busy. But I pay attention to social media to see title changes, generally what's going on, the themes, and kind of the storylines. Like I'm really excited for John Cena this year.
Is he coming back?
He's made a kind of a comeback for at the beginning of this year. The Rock's kind of in the fold, so there could be something going on there. But basically, John Cena is currently tied with 17 championships overall.
Tied
with Ric Flair. Ric Flair.
Oh, he ain't wrestling anymore.
Yeah, Ric Flair left the company and left a bad taste in WWE's mouth. So I think they're going to want to, before Cena's done, they want to put him over the top as the best champion ever. So that's why WrestleMania is coming up in April in Las Vegas. I did not even plan this, but me and my wife and my sister were going there, and I was just looking up what to do in Vegas that weekend, and WrestleMania is on there, and I'm like, Steph, we're going to WrestleMania. Whether it's just me or both of us, it's a 2-night event, so I'm hoping to see John Cena win the championship, and just I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll see.
It sounds like it's set up for him to.
Yeah, I think so.
To win
or he's one that like he really loves putting younger people over to be like with their storyline. So he might just take a loss to make somebody look better.
He just did it in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. He that threw me off. I thought that was going to be his way in, but the story right now is like, how's he going to get there and what's going to happen? And I'm ready to be there ringside.
You ready to try to interview some wrestlers?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
Wait, sorry. Did you say you're going to be ringside at?
No, not. I was
I was like WrestleMania.
I'll be full
Last time he
disclosure.
announced it, he was like, I have an announcement. I'm going to WrestleMania. And then I was like, oh, wow, nice. Did you get the tickets? And he said no.
I don't
Have you gotten the
yet,
tickets
but-
yet?
No.
No.
Don't you better get on
I
it.
don't know what.
It's like March tomorrow.
Here's the problem. I want to go on the day that John Cena's wrestling, and I
Oh,
don't
you
know
don't
which
know.
day that is yet.
Oh, it's got to be night 2.
You don't know if he's going to
I
pull
would
a.
think so.
gotta be
I would
night
think
2.
so.
You don't know if he's going to pull
Yeah.
like a Jason Momoa.
Right. And my wife will
Take
not.
off Friday.
My wife will not allow me to go to both nights.
In
There's no
Vegas.
way. She's already like, I get it. Like, there's so much to do in Vegas. WrestleMania probably will take like 6 hours, like
Oh,
top to
absolutely.
It's a whole day.
You're,
It's like
headed,
a Super
you're
Bowl.
headed there at like 3:30,
Yeah.
and you're not going to get out of there until midnight. You know it.
I'm fine with it. I'll go straight to the club after that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Vegas is like the place you're gonna wake up, grab brunch, hit Wet Republic, the pool party, probably see Steve Aoki casually,
I hope.
maybe grab a early dinner, lunch, another whatever.
So this is from
Top
2 to
golf.
4 a.m. even. Like all that could happen at 2 to 4 a.m.
Yeah, all this. So so it's funny you're headed there because that's like the weekend of my wife's birthday, and we're like, oh yeah, we haven't been to Vegas in a long time, and so we were like looking at prices. I'm like, wait, what? Why is it that expensive? I'm like, something has to be going on. We went on YouTube and we were watching somebody talking about events coming to Vegas, and we saw WrestleMania, and I'm like, oh, that's why all of these hotels are very pricey that weekend, and flights and all this and that. And then I told her, I was like, all right, so you're gonna have, I don't know, like what, 200,000 fans there, plus there's all these extra stuff, and then there's Raw. Do you still want to go?
Oh yeah.
We chose New York, so it's gonna be
Nice.
more tamed.
Oh, man. I thought we were
Yeah.
about to go to WrestleMania together, man. We were
Yeah.
about to go to
Yeah,
You and your
that's what you were
wife.
gearing up. Are you a wrestling fan?
I used to be, and like, what was it, a few years ago? AEW, they gave me like some ringside tickets. They didn't really have many fans. It was like at the event, so I got lucky. But at that time, I got to meet like Chris Jericho, and it was
What?
It was.
Nice.
He's my favorite.
That's sick.
He's a funny guy. He's like I walk in, and it was just like a scene from like back in the WCW days where he's on his phone, like, all right, I'll catch you later. Hey, how are you guys? And I don't know, maybe he does that with everybody, so you get that like retro
Yeah.
wrestling.
He's a podcaster too. I listen to his show occasionally.
Singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's his dad played for the Blues, and he's like, I think on this pod or your pod, we were talking a little bit about Chesterfield, and he's like, yeah, I lived out in Chesterfield. Have you ever partied out in Chesterfield, man? And I think he was in Chesterfield when he was like 5 years old. So I don't
He's
know.
like, you ever been to a Hot Shots?
Yeah,
It's wild.
I'll show you guys the clip after this. But it was like, what did he say? He's like, does Chesterfield still exist? It's the clip. Like, it is a clip.
That's awesome.
Maybe I'll add it to this.
I'd say no. I'm listening. I'm editing right now. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
click-
add it to the
Click the
drive.
link down below.
But yeah, that'll be a good time. Now, what does the future hold for you all? Because I see a lot of opportunity, and I think it's, just people will see it. I think it's just you got to get in the right people's DMs, emails, because I can see you all on like red carpets, or even if it's like one of y'all, because life happens, you're busy. You go to the actual Captain America Marvel premiere. Like I see that stuff happening.
Yeah, it would be nice. It'd be nice to be invited for sure. But like we always say, like we got listeners like all over the world, like 50 plus countries. Like people
Yes.
tune in, and we like to talk to the world, but we live in St. Louis.
Mhm.
So like I always try to like stay really grounded to that, like the local impact.
Yes.
Because like I just have a better chance to like help my town more than I do like other stuff, just like where we're placed. So we're positioned, talking like a business a little bit. We're positioned really well with the friends we have
For sure.
in town, and I think that's also impacting our evolution. So while, yeah, I mean, we had Sean Gunn on the podcast last year.
I was just about to bring up, like, can't you just call Sean? Like, hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, our good friend Julie.
Yep.
And she's kind of known to sit down and make us kind of reach for our dreams and help us make them come true.
She's one of the first people that supported what I did because
Same.
I would hit her up.
We
like,
owe a lot of our
hey,
success to her.
Yeah.
one of the best people in St. Louis. Like, she helps
Yeah.
so many people.
Yeah, we have a great thing now. Basically, I'm like, whatever you need. If Julie Lally texts me, I'm like, I'm all ears.
Hey,
'Cause-
can you be on the news tomorrow?
Yeah, which that was cool. Like that we talked about our friends with Allied, and stuff like that pops up where they needed somebody to have commentary on Captain America. So like that.
Oh, that was recently?
Yeah, and that was on Fox 2. You've been on Fox 2. We
Yes.
we nerded out about the Fox 2 crew.
Oh, yes.
So like I through Julie and through Allied, like it was like a last minute night before. Could you come on tomorrow and help promote this Captain America? The wheel is turning in red, white, and blue. The movie's in a week. Could you do commentary on the movie? And that felt like a call that I had definitely been waiting on. So maybe like more stuff like that, more promotions, more panels like Comic-Con, stuff like that. And then it really is like we're a small independent radio station above all else.
Mhm.
Like our relationship with our sponsors and our local vendors, like that's turning into community impact events. So we're trying to use our tools of talking about things. Our friends at Team Jakey are all about in the stigma, not just around mental health, but like awkward conversations and unhealthy things in our lives. So we've got stuff in mind for speaking events and panels at like local places in town to help different groups of people.
Yes.
And Team Jakey's had some really great success with like the brewer community and the construction community. So like we're kind of just trying to help people be heard, know that like these are crazy times and that you shouldn't feel like it's totally normal, like it's pretty wild out here. So we're having fun. The more fun stuff to come, because like as long as we're alive, you got like this short window of time when you're alive to like make your life the best you can. So we're trying to like really encapsulate like fun stuff, community, and then things that we're passionate about. So like that's why TV and film made it in, because that's one thing that I'm American storytelling, worldwide storytelling through cinema.
Yes.
I love it. Scotty's love for reading books and bringing the written word in, and also has like a passion for local politics and national politics as well.
Yeah.
And Andy's got the biggest heart you'll ever meet, and we've got to connect with the Huntington's Disease Society of America in Missouri and try to do some help with them, because that's just another thing that's making a bunch of people's lives horrible. So like the more we can just help the person next to us that's not as good, like we're trying. And I know it's like mostly superheroes, and that is kind of like the talk track of like how we talk about ourselves all the time, because I think it's a great name and it's a great thing, but it's evolved so much more past a Marvel movie. So where's it going? I'm excited. Like we have more stuff on the calendar than ever. So 2025 and 2026 are looking good.
And WrestleMania.
Yes, I'll be reporting live from WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I feel like, man. Oh, you guys are gonna record that on Tuesday after, right?
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be like a whole like pictures, videos, him talking about it,
Oh, I'm excited.
and while you're there, like anything that you can throw on your story and stuff. You definitely got to follow
I'll DM
A-Hun.
John Cena real quick.
Ahun6767.
That's right.
That's right. Follow him on
channels.
Instagram. That's gonna be. But invite mostly superheroes.
Yep.
To collab.
Make sure
Of
to
course.
tag. Yep.
I will.
Otherwise, you're fired.
Yeah. Well, I think that's incredible, because like, you see the number 15,000 and it's so easy to like, man, this person 1.5 million, and then this other one like could have hundreds of thousands and stuff. And it was like, this weekend, like I was talking on your podcast when I was talking to all these creators with hundreds of thousands and then millions of followers, telling them what like I did, and then they're like hyping me up, like, wait, what? How can you do that? How do you do this? Like, it's still 15,000 people. That is a concert at Enterprise Center, right? but it's like, we just get caught up in numbers. I think also because we all have had corporate jobs, right? So you're always looking at numbers, this, and then, working with companies, they may not see the value in this or that, but 15,000 is a lot. So I think that's awesome. And even getting out there, because it's a crazy time. It's very, very crazy. And, superheroes inspire a lot of people. And what you guys do is, I feel like in this country, it's very like an isolated, like, society, because the more I make you not like your neighbor, I can't talk to my neighbor, I'm not supposed to like you, kind of thing. Well, then guess what, I'm turning on the TV and I'm listening to other voices. But like what you guys provide people is that escape. Let's say you talk about the new Captain America. Well, now I can go watch the movie and listen to your guys' take, and then I can comment like, come on, hey, well, Harrison Ford, that wasn't even him. You could tell. I don't even know how old is he, like 85 now?
Yeah, he's 82, 83.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, they got him.
Yep. He was there.
I don't know if they needed him, but they got him.
They have him on the poster. But no, I think that's incredible. I see a lot of potential. I think I may have said that whenever I was on your guys' episode before. I really see a lot of potential. It's just really where you guys want to take it. I live a random life. I do get to do a lot of random things I could never imagine. Shout out to Andy. Literally the day before I went to Miami, I'm like literally clearing off my window with like a glove, and it just, hey, Braden, hey, I know you said you lived in the area. And then I had to make sure to point out, like, hey, man, yeah, I have the scraper inside, but I just couldn't find it. I'm like scooping it off.
In case you had to defend yourself?
Yeah.
Honestly, I drove away and I was like, shit, I should offer to help him.
Oh, yeah.
But I was going to urgent care.
I've got
So
like
you were sick.
He wouldn't be anywhere near me. So I was already like, oh, crap, I hope I didn't get him sick before he goes on his trip.
Yeah, no, I was trying to not shovel the snow. I was like, oh, it's going to be 65 on Sunday. I'm not going to be here, but it's going to be 65. It's going to melt. But, just in case, I was like, I'll shovel.
Yeah, we had that snow. It came back around. It's been a snowy winter here in St. Louis.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the roads
Neighbors.
are looking
City.
rough.
Yeah, the roads are real bad.
Where?
All over.
No,
In the city.
like from plowing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's potholes everywhere.
for
it's
sure.
terrible.
Oh, yeah, there's more potholes
I
than
just
usual.
forget.
Yeah.
I just think that's just what it's always like, kind of.
No, some of these are
Like deep.
Yeah.
like you could bury the Hulk in.
Yeah.
That deep. Maybe
Hulk smash.
the action figure. Sorry, the Funko Pop.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can. It's
It looks like there's been superhero landings all over the city.
was Thor with the big hammer. No,
Yeah.
Just dropped it.
Okay, one of you guys need to go around town taking photos of the photos. That's how you go viral. That's how people will find out more about the podcast. You like it.
Thor's hammer, drop it in a pothole, take a photo.
Yeah, I realize when I go to other cities, like we have bad roads.
Yeah.
A lot of bad roads.
Real bad.
Being in Miami, you see all these nice, fancy, clean cars all the time, right? And then I get back and like my wife picks me up in my car. I'm like, damn, that's a dirty ass car. Like it's a 2024 whatever Honda something. Also, it's a Honda, right? So like in Miami, you're seeing Bentleys, Lambos, and all that. And I'm like, oh man, damn, back to my Midwest life.
No shame.
I love
Not
it.
so bad.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And you mentioned like the numbers, like we're not, it's like we believe in like delivering high quality stuff and like making relationships based on like our or what we say, and like that equity. The numbers might be growing, but the equity is there. Like there's like a lot of people that we work with where it's like there's been 20 handshake deals at this point. Like it's like, yeah, I'm coming back to you, you're coming back to me. So fingers crossed. I think we're in a good spot for what we're doing and how it's grown. We're very lucky, and very humbled.
Yeah.
Too. We feel all the time to even be like emailed by a lot of the folks in town. Very humbled.
And do you guys hang out outside of here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
What are you guys doing when you hang out?
we do different stuff.
Yeah.
Depends on the group. It's like
The duo.
we need to get all of us together more because like it's kind of like Scott said, his wife is friends with my wife, so we have that group, and then sometimes we all end up at the same place if we do like a mostly superheroes thing. Me and Andy are probably gonna be at Mardi Gras. All day Saturday.
Yes.
Well,
There you
we I used to live in Soulard and
in a tent, or you guys
friends.
It's gonna be nice, I think, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
be
Friends parade friends. That's kind of like the rhythm that we usually do.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, but
Do
I'm
that.
47.
other than that, I don't know,
I
just
was
going
gonna
out
say,
to eat.
yeah,
We went to
usually.
Royale after Screening Social the other day.
Yeah, we're kind of transitioning to food. We're kind of getting to
Again.
we go to restaurants. We all hang out and go out to eat. We like to get a beer somewhere.
Well, that's a perfect transition to Foodie Friday. Wow, we have mostly superheroes. Usually I ask guests 3 or 4 of their favorites. I don't know if I'm going to put you guys on a spot. I'm going to say 3 to 5 of the, collectively. So that could be each one of you all saying your favorite and then
Go from
2 more maybe.
because you got 3 guests with you. Right?
Yeah.
So we can sharpen it up.
Let's go around and
It's easy for
see.
me to let them rip.
I was going to say, I think we're all going to say the gramophone.
The gramophone.
That's,
I mean,
yeah.
but not just because they're one of our OG sponsors. They're by far the best sandwich in town. I swear by that.
Tell me your sandwiches.
Yeah, I put
The
them-
Jive.
Always half
Before Walk
half
This Way got
meatball,
removed.
Mississippi Nights Club.
Yeah.
Those are top.
Havana.
Is that the one with the riplets? Mississippi Nights Club.
Yeah.
Mac
No,
and cheese for
Maybe
the
it's
side.
Cruncher chips on top. Or is it Riplets?
Yeah, it's the red riplets.
Riplets? Okay.
Yeah.
And then they bring the Walk This Way back once in a while, and I'm always there all week when they do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember any sandwiches, but you've had it a few times.
Yeah.
We go a little more
Which
than
is
you,
good.
I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
The Royale Food and Spirits off Kings Highway. Those are my 2. I'll stick with those 2 and then let you guys
For sure. Local, big fan of the Mac. That's my go-to of
Mac-
local, local.
Macklin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
yeah.
a
I've
Friday-
never been there, and I've driven past it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
oh
of times.
man, Fridays. Speaking of Foodie Friday, that is the Foodie Friday. They used to have $5 burgers. Inflation. It's probably like $8 now. I can't remember, but it's one of the best deals ever.
Don't get into
Burger-
on it.
Burger and fries.
Right by Big River Running Club.
Yeah.
Ran there for a few years. And then Stanley's right down the road. I did karaoke there for years.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I haven't been there either, and I literally am in the area. I've been to Clementine's like 1,000
Just-
times.
Right there.
We'll meet you there. Just let us
Yeah.
know when. We'll
Okay.
Drinks on us for first round.
What about you? what else you got besides, because we said the
Man.
gramophone, but you
Yeah.
got other places.
I don't really go a lot of places. I really like the tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good food. I went to Gordon Ramsay's
Well,
last month
Let's have a review.
for the first time. It was really good, but I feel like it was just overpriced.
Okay.
Like,
Did you at least have an arch view? That's probably like $40 of the bill.
yeah, it was a good
Okay.
view.
Yeah.
It was a really good view.
If you got it,
And the service was great. The food was great. I
That's
felt
good.
I did feel like I was paying for the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay.
yeah, we have to keep the TV show going.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell's Kitchen season 27.
Yeah. I when I attended that event last year, it was pretty cool. It was
That was awesome. Seeing it online, even just you guys there taking pictures with them and everything. Like, that looks so cool.
crazy. I knew he was going to be there for a long time. I think it was about a year. Someone kind of hinted like, yeah, there's a big change coming next year. There's going to be a very big name coming. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to put Guy Fieri's like fried chicken spot in here. So I'm like, it has to be a Gordon spot. Cause then I was like, oh wait, this is owned by like Horseshoe's owned by Caesars Group. You go to Vegas, where you're going to go, WrestleMania, who has like 2 restaurants right there in Caesar's Palace.
Okay.
Gordon. So it started to click, and then it was supposed to be like in April or something, and then they told me, okay, it's going to happen, and then I guess it didn't work with his schedule. Then he got that motorcycle accident, but it was like literally all you can eat, all you can drink, and that was the last time I've been there. I would love to go and try. I think I had a beef Wellington that night, and
I had the Wellington, and it's the most expensive thing on the menu, but it is like his signature item. And I can't tell you, I've never had a piece of beef so tender in my entire life. It melted in my mouth.
Yeah, and if we're shouting out dishes, if you go to the Royale Food and Spirits, tell
Yes.
Steve Smith, the owner there, that mostly superheroes and the crew said hi, because he's a close friend. I've been eating there since like 2012.
wow.
And the fish tacos are the best
Fish taco,
tacos in
yeah.
town. So
It's true. It
So-
really is.
You said on your podcast about 4 hands, and if people want their second drink, there's a code, right?
yeah, promo code, password, mostly, or if you just mention the podcast, mostly superheroes at any 4 hands location. It's a limited time promotion, but it's going to be for probably like hopefully into the summer.
Yeah.
You say this password, you mention our podcast, your second beer is free. You gotta be 21. It's limit 1 per customer, no group tabs, but you buy a beer, mention the podcast, your second beer will be free.
Gotcha.
Really proud of that one. Yeah, that took a little bit of that also took some emails, as most things do.
It's building relationships.
Yeah.
It's,
Shout out Four Hands and Kevin and Liz and
good people.
Bergio and Trunk and a lot of people that we've had on this show.
Mhm.
We're Sam Zeller and Team Jakey. They're big fans of Four Hands, and they've been good friends. But like, just also one of the most fun places in town. I think they're always trying to do something new,
Unique.
something fresh, unique. Yep.
Now, usually I ask 3 dinner guests, right? But there's 3 of you. So if you all could have one person join you here, who would be your dream guest? Let's say you're at dinner or maybe even the podcast.
Dead or alive?
Anybody. Yep. I'll let you guys deliberate.
My wife. I'm just kidding.
That's what I
Love
was
you,
gonna say.
Carrie.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's for you,
Yeah,
baby.
I was also going to say your wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say
my
Carrie, too.
wife. Yeah, if you guys got an answer, go ahead. But like, that's a really good question. And I listened to your podcast, so like, I've actually thought about this live when I've listened. But now that you're asking me like fresh, it's like a new slate.
No, I had a whole 3.
Oh, wait,
thought
actually,
of, but then now
if
I
you want.
can't drill it down to 1 now.
if you want to do all 3, actually,
You could rattle them off if you
Yeah,
got them.
all right. say all
well, it's
your-
easy.
Just don't dwell
I
on
think the
any
number
one
is-
for
is-
sake of time.
It's Tim Robinson. It's got to be
Oh.
number 1.
Okay.
That would be he would probably choke on his food, but we would be best friends afterwards. Ben Roethlisberger, favorite athlete of all time. I've been a huge Steelers fan, and he kind of just growing up, I fell in love with his play, as well as the third one was tough.
You're dwelling.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm blanking. The third one was
Do you have it in your notes?
no. I didn't take any notes. Good. This week. Work got a little crazy today.
All right.
The day
You
job
got any
the day
ready?
job got me.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, right.
Got to be Tom Cruise.
That'd be a great interview,
And-
like a
and-
great sit down.
And Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige was on my top 3.
Like, I've got to pick his
Just-
brain about what's going on. Where are we going?
Yeah.
Give me some spoilers.
Just on the
Kevin.
Marvel and the
Yeah.
Marvel side, like of just getting things done in that way and that process that he figured out to find that tone. And but that's, if we go like worldly, like a little more worldly, like it'd be good like present day to bring somebody back and just like get a look at the land and like sit down and eat a meal with them. I don't know. I feel like like a leader from the past. I feel like it'd be cool to like bring out like JFK or like even like Abraham Lincoln, someone from a long time ago,
Oh, okay.
and be like
way back.
and just be like, here, just give him like 30 minutes to like see the internet, and then just like be like, I don't know, what do you think? like what would JFK have to say about the world today? I don't know. Like he's never been like the only tie to JFK is like really through a fictional story, the Stephen King 11/23.
11/22/63.
Such a great book.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like a historical like.
Stephen King would
person.
be a great one.
Stephen King would be a great one, storyteller. Great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Avicii. That's my last one.
Oh yeah, I was actually in Vegas the day when he passed away. I remember every sign in Vegas said "Rest in peace, Avicii."
420.
Beyonce would
Really
be
sad.
Beyonce would be dope.
Oh yeah, did you get your ticket so you can go see Beyonce?
We saw her when she was at the center a couple years ago, the Madhouse.
Yeah, on on Monday night in St. Louis. Like we don't know how to have, like I don't think there was anybody out there even like patrolling traffic. Or
No,
anything.
they
It was,
weren't.
All right, red light, green light, and that concert started I think 2 hours late.
Yeah, and it was just a little scary, leaving late. And
We got a
it's that
hotel.
classic downtown. Were you there?
Yeah. We anytime like let's see, even Nashville. When her tour got leaked, we're like, all right, let's go ahead and get our hotel. Like it was a Holiday Inn next door to Vanderbilt Stadium. So literally, we like left the football stadium after her tour. Her and Jay-Z is like on the run to walked just across the parking lot to the Holiday Inn where we got for like $160. Because
Dang.
we got onto that. Then we saw her at the Dome. So when that came out, that we got our hotel room. Used a free night, and then because they always once Beyonce, the searches happen and the price goes up, and then we got one coming up here. We got a pretty good rate ish for Chicago. So yeah, I think man, I've seen all the artists. I've even gone to like a Taylor Swift concert. I've gone to I mean, I've gone to a lot. I'm not gonna say I've gone to every, and she just puts on. She is just a performer, man.
Show. Like a real show.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like how, people will knock it. I'm just like, no, it's art. Like if you like art, just like all the visuals, like her team, and now I did see Stevie Wonder. That's like an agreement in my relationship with my wife. Like anytime Stevie has a show, like we gotta see him. And we saw him, I think it was November last year. No, October. He just announced, hey, I'm going on 10 shows this year. He's 75. Sounded so good.
Damn.
Nice.
Like he is, you just gotta, I mean, people like that, they're not gonna be around much longer. You hate to say it, but like, him, Billy Joel, Shaka Khan, I saw all three of those like within like a month and a half of each other last year.
I learned my lesson on that. I think I was going to see Tom Petty, and I passed, and then he died.
Oh,
And then I was like,
All your fault.
oops.
yeah, you can't pass those opportunities sometimes.
All right, hey, you keep going. I'm gonna hit
Yes.
the head
Yep.
right here. I'll be right back. If you feel,
Cool.
or if you want to pause, you can pause. But
So
Yep.
what's on your list?
you go ahead.
For guests.
Yeah, I mean, just like who would you have?
Sorry, buddy. Oh, sit down for
Yeah.
dinner. I would say as of right now, today. I think last time I was. Let me do it different than last time. Last time I said probably like LeBron, Beyonce, and someone else. I can't remember. Today, I'd say Dwayne Johnson.
Mm.
When the Battlehawks first announced they were coming back to St. Louis, I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to get in and blah blah blah. Like, and he still hasn't come to St. Louis.
It does annoy me.
And
But they did give us the extra home game this year, so they know.
Oh yeah,
They know St. Louis is the place to be.
we're the cash cow of the XFL, but
uh-huh.
he hasn't been here. I agree. I was offended by that.
I feel like this year.
This year has got to be the year.
I heard that we're hosting the finals
again because
possibly.
we fund the league.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we did the same last year too. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
too. So I mean, it's fine. They did some upgrades to the stadium too. I'm really excited for this year. So as well, City SC. That's where it's at though.
Yeah, City SC.
I mean, I'm sure you've been to one of those games.
They've set the standard, I think, in St. Louis. And I know the Blues try. It was like, man, I think it was last year I was going to Blues games, and it was like the same song. If they had Country Road again as a song for the Blues this year, I was canceling my season tickets. I was like, I couldn't do it. Like Blues
Same.
games, copy and
Why?
paste. I liked the song, but man, it was. I also like City SC was always different. They have a different banner. It's just different songs. So I like the song, but it was overplayed, and I was like, oh, here this time, here's the Seltzer Shuffle. Okay, we lost again. Oh, okay, here's Country Road, and then it was just like the same.
Yeah, there's no connection to St. Louis, so there's no reason why we have that as a.
It should have been Country Grammar, but that's about drive-bys, But it's country. I didn't understand that one, but and so yeah, so we'll go Dwayne Johnson. Like I said, I won't say LeBron and Beyonce because I said them last time. I probably did say Dwayne Johnson. I don't know because I just think it's interesting. Definitely Kevin Hart. It's really cool what he's been able to do, like build his brand. And, even though I'm like not on that level, one of the reasons you see me in these different realms is I look at people like Shaq. I look at people like Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, and they're in every different area. So Kevin Hart's on YouTube, Netflix, Peacock, Paramount, his own movies, his own stand-up. He's in like different shows.
Yeah,
different
he's
podcasts.
doing roasts. He's doing everything.
So that's one of the people I've like looked up to, and I can't say I looked down to. I've never met him. But that's one that I was always interested in. So that's one of the reasons. Like I don't think I've ever really shared that with people. Was that also Dwayne Johnson? Like he figured out like. He has the obviously the wrestling. He has football. He has Disney.
He's got the energy drink. He's got tequila. He's got
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's touching everything.
Yeah.
So I saw that's what I like about like what they do. So that's why one of the things that you see me in all these one of the reasons is because I just have an interest in everything, like just seeing what life is, and it keeps it exciting for me. But also I'm like, okay, that's how they've been able to do this. That's why they've been able to do that. So you'll see me with baseball, soccer. I don't know. I just love life. So that third person for me today, just like today, we're gonna keep that pause in there just because
That's great.
it's very intense. I don't know. Today.
I know it's tough. It's a good question.
You know what? I would say today I would actually. Man, I know I want to add. I have some questions for Serena. Like I think very inspirational. And if I could just have like 5 minutes with Obama, and I'm working on it. I'm trying.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, not that it would even really matter, but I'm just curious.
He's
man.
probably like my number one, honestly.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just.
that's who you want to talk to.
I just have like questions, like man, like with what's going on in the world, and like it's when we were younger, it felt like I don't know, like promising, and maybe that's just the way it was branded, things like that. Whatever, we really felt it, and I think right now, like a lot of people are going through it, so I always try to, continue doing my part to like lift others up, and make them, one of the things is food. I show you food. Hey, guess what? You're going to Stan's, or you're going to the Mac and getting that $5 burger or $8 burger, right?
Yep.
Um,
Don't quote me on that price though.
Nice.
yeah, don't. Yeah. Well, like I said, if there's an egg on it, it's probably $14.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
Now, let's see. I think I got everybody. Did I get yours?
I think so. Yeah. The people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bounced around a little bit, and I think I ended up coming to Obama.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, words of wisdom. If each one of you would like to share, maybe it could be somebody going through a tough time or aspire to do what you're doing. If you had to leave guests with words of wisdoms, maybe that could work because plural. What would they be?
I'm not the wisest of. I'm usually just a wise ass, not a wise person.
What's your secret to feeling good each day?
I thought that was a quote.
Yeah, like there it is.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, I just made it up. Honestly, yeah, just people just need to relax. There's so much crazy stuff going on in the world. Like, don't forget to take time to yourself and just relax. Like it's what I have this tattoo of a palm tree on my arm. That's one of my versions of relaxation, is just traveling, seeing the world. And I'm happy if I'm anywhere, like even when I was on a golf course and I accidentally hit my ball at a palm tree, I'm still happy with that because I'm in a better place than snowy STL sometimes. But
Yeah.
it's that's what I got. Like I
think-
said, wise ass, not wise man.
I was gonna say, I think Bruno Mars has a song. It's like, put a perm on your attitude. You need to relax or something like that. I haven't listened to
That
it.
sounded just like Bruno right there.
Yeah.
You talked about Bruno last time. I think you were on. I think that was your
Love Bruno.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. Sorry, that's a different reference. Oh yeah. It was oh man, I haven't listened to that album.
Silk Sonic.
Silk Sonic.
Oh yeah, so
remember.
Sonic.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
Put that on. Make some dinner. That's
Yes.
Wait, I don't have food to cook right now. Isn't it fun, man? I tell you, as a foodie, it's so crazy because it's like people would think I have like a crazy kitchen and all this and that, but a lot of times when I go grocery shopping, I just get fundamentals. I get some fruit. Actually, I get a lot of fruit. That's like one of my cheat codes to staying skinny with all the food I eat. Plus, I'm 6'5", so that helps. And then what else am I getting? I get like chicken wings, sometimes meat. So it's not exciting, but I always get taco shells. I love tacos. So yeah, I don't know why am I
Talking about food, it's one of your
talking
favorite
about food.
things.
Yeah, man.
And it's dinner
It's
time.
dinner time. Yeah.
It is,
It's,
and I haven't eaten.
There,
Really?
yeah. I've been
You want more Chips
I've been
Ahoy?
sneaking you Chips Ahoy and pretzels.
Oh yeah, do I have?
I got a real dish here.
Let's get some ASMR real quick on this one.
Here we go. I mean, these are good mics. Wait, shout out Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we should save Scotty for last because you've got the most years, so you should have the most wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get it, Logan.
I'll share stuff that's just stuck with me from other people that I looked up to over the years, and it's find people that are like in your corner, and notice that, and that can really help out a ton. Like you might be finding that you're just kind of cruising through life and stumbling through life. I felt like I was stumbling for a long time, and it's been through people that I connected with that I looked up to, kind of like you seek it out.
Mhm.
You talked a lot about, Brad, like you seek it out, and then once you start noticing the people that are supporting you and about that, like lean into that, and then notice like how that felt to be like helped out and taken care of, and bring that with you like in your day. because then it becomes if I can get better, then I can help someone else. And like, I don't know how long I'll be quote unquote healthy, and and none of us are young forever. And those of us that have that luxury and privilege to be healthy-ish and to have our our intellect and our relationships and how we manage it, like you pay it forward, but always like you're just like, I always feel like there's like a lot of days I wake up and I feel like it's day one all over again. So whenever I get like that and I feel lost, I kind of come back to that. And just some like practical tips, like keep a list. Like, it's okay to like have a notebook and to either your personal thoughts or you're like trying to be more organized. Like, that's been a big thing that people have told me that has paid off big time, is holding myself accountable to like follow through on something, which is, I think, as simple as like writing it down and knowing that I'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
So that's really been foundational for me, is a list and a calendar are like really powerful. If you can get a visual calendar and a list, like start with that. Even if you know nothing else, you have no business background, you don't have, and you're just trying to get yourself like straight, start writing stuff down and try to get your hands on a calendar. I know that's like super practical, but like, I feel like sometimes that's exactly what someone might need, is just like a practical tip. Like, sometimes I don't want that. Like, what's something I can actually do?
Well, you invited me. I was like, hey man, what's the next few? Because every time like you hit me up, I'm like, oh dude, sorry, I got this, I got that. And then, so what was it? This recently you asked about Captain America. I think that's when I said I'm out of town. And I was like, hey, when's the next two? And then I was like, oh, I can't go to that one because that's my anniversary. But hey, I put like, I think it's April 19th down or something, on the calendar.
And it becomes like kind of real, something that you like count backwards from. It's kind of a goal too. Like, you're like, oh, I gotta.
It's a priority though, because that's the first thing I know about, unless like something happens in life that time. Sorry, that blocked out. Mostly superheroes blocked out that time.
And like look at it as like a short-term goal, right? Like, put something on the calendar. I have something to work backwards from. Just like, I mean, I live like one thing to the next, very much so. Like, I'm a very one thing to the next, and the big picture is starting to take shape, but it's mostly just like one day at a time. And I remind Carrie all the time, like, it's just one day at a time. You're only going to get to what you get to today. I always tell these guys and her and people that listen to The Soul Vienna by Billy Joel. Anytime you get if you ever get overwhelmed, that's a song that kind of brings me down and reminds me like life is sweet if it can be, and if it's a good day, like, enjoy your good day, because like you probably got a bad day around the corner.
Yeah,
honestly.
I saw Billy Joel at Busch this past year or last year. Man, he's 75. Once again, the OGs. I really love his storytelling, and so when I get I'm very appreciative. I get compliments. I guess people are like, talk about like my storytelling or something. Like when I make like the food videos and stuff, and how I like put words together. My top 5 artists of last year. I don't think I ever shared it. Number 1, Stevie Wonder. I think number 2, because my wife and I like we're driving to Chicago, so we were listening to Beyonce. So yeah, well, I mean, I like Beyonce's music, right, too. But yeah, so Stevie Wonder, Beyonce, Billy Joel, Michael Jackson, and Usher. So all of these people are storytellers in their music, especially like Billy Joel, Stevie, I mean, all, right? And that's like, I listen to that kind of music, and I love the stories more than just I saw Flo Rida perform the other day. Party, good time. But there's something.
And you do talk a lot about music. I love that we celebrate music on the show. Like Radiohead is definitely are you listening to any Radiohead?
I think I have. When we were growing up, they had a really big song.
Yeah, Creep.
Yes.
It's in it, like everything. It was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, our acoustic version, which was nice, but not by far not their best song, and definitely not even their best album. I'd throw out Radiohead.
Is it the I'm a creep?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main one. That's the one you remember. Like I said, I would say Kid A, OK Computer, and Rainbows are my 3 favorite Radiohead albums. Just throw in some music, because I love that you bring in the music.
So I should listen to
Radiohead, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be my reco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta drive home and I'll listen to that one. Scott, how about you?
So just a couple weeks ago, I saw a movie and it was not a super great movie. It was Love Hurts with Ke Huy Quan. And I saw in that movie probably one of the most inspirational things I've ever seen, and it really stuck with me, which is weird. You know, you can get inspiration from anywhere. And it was a quote at the very beginning of the movie that said, "Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear." And it really made me think, like, if you just don't be afraid, go do it. If you want it, fear is the only thing keeping you from doing that.
That's beautiful.
You know, just from, a B movie
Right.
with Marshawn Lynch in it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was, I found it strange to see that there, and it really stuck with me even weeks later.
I love that when a line, like you said, even from like a movie you didn't really care for, just
Yeah.
a line
Yeah.
just sticks. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Now I want to see it. I think I was invited. It was like early February.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you get the emails.
It was
probably.
a super
Yeah, I want
super
to.
fun movie, and I did nothing but smile at Ke Huy Quan. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, he's
please,
great. Goonies,
please.
Loki, he's awesome.
please give me more of him.
I have to see that. No, I love that, man. The worst thing someone's going to say is no. And
Yeah.
like, when we get off, and when we're done recording this here in a minute, like I'll definitely hype you guys up, because I feel like I'm somebody that, like, I used to, like, during 2020, 2021, I was listening to Gary Vee a lot, and he really got me out of my head. Even like a guy I'm cool with now, he's cool with Gary Vee, and they,
I follow Gary.
yeah, like, dude, he
He
just,
had a quote recently that stuck with me that was, it's definitely not about the dollars in your bank account when you go to bed. It's about that peace of mind.
Mhm.
And, I mean, it's true. Like,
Well, that's where I
it's
got
like
this-
lifestyle.
I was gonna say that's where I got the thing about when we were talking about 15,000. I got that perspective from him, and I am somebody, I don't come from all these like crazy connections. I don't come from money and all this and that, and so like everything you guys get to see or I get to talk about. Man, I'm from South City. I'm from Dutchtown area. We don't really have all that. So like when I'm hyping people up, like worst thing someone can tell me is no now, right? And I've been able to. Even like people over the years that didn't see the value in it, now they probably don't work with me because there's like a lot of people just pry like, oh no, I'm not gonna do, but they get the inspiration from it, But I'm like showing people like, yeah, it's possible, especially in this digital age. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, and then I'm gonna hype you guys up. All right, but no, I appreciate all you guys. Well, yeah, there's all you guys. I appreciate you three for doing this crossover episode. You guys are awesome. I mean, mostly superheroes, Now, how can people follow you guys?
At Mostly Superheroes. Search Mostly Superheroes in your podcast app and YouTube. Got a channel out there. And if you got a smart speaker, ask it to play the latest of Mostly Superheroes, the podcast. But really, we tell everybody that our online home is mostlysuperheroes.com. We've put a lot of work into making a really robust, searchable website that's fun. And if you're nerdy at all about anything, like give it a shot. Go search for your thing. You might find something. You might be surprised even what you find at mostlysuperheroes.com. And dude, thanks so much for having us and doing this with us. And it's like you said, we're out here doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we see you, and we see like the effort you put into not just it's the same. It's like the same old stuff. It's like you're building up your own career and what's going to build your family some structure.
Yeah.
But then you're helping like local people stay informed, and gosh, that's what we just push. If we can be useful, if we can like help somebody with something, like your videos are so helpful. Like
Appreciate it.
I can really get on there and kind of get a sense of so many things at once and be like, this would have taken me like so much research
Yeah.
to find all these places. So kudos to what you're doing. Thanks for hosting us and doing the crossover. And yeah, you were here at our place this time, and I loved, like, it's been awesome, like being able to like take a back seat as like and just be on your show. And we'd love to do it again, like here or anywhere else.
We'll do it for an audience, because that first show
Ooh.
of getting people, it's going to be a hustle, because
I
they got to experience the first time,
Yeah.
and then once they experience that, like if we did like a city winery or something, and then they, move the chairs a little bit more spaciously,
If
But
I would love to do that. We could co-produce a really fun experience for people to show up to. Like we don't want to. We always say all the time, we don't want to waste your time. We want you to show up and feel like you got something out of it, and that's fun. Like let's do something together in town for sure.
we'll figure it out. That's all we do.
No doubt.
Well, appreciate you guys for listening, and that's it. Peace. Oh wait,
Peace.
there, peace. Yep.
Peace.